Well, it's official. The nose has it. And in this video, if yours is blocked, I'm going to give you an exercise to unblock it. Hi, my name's L Conroy. Welcome to Happy Stuff and Fluff, a channel for women over 50 who are getting happy and growing younger. Well, and for anybody who wants to listen, really, because you know, much of what we talk about on Happy Stuff and Fluff is helpful to people of any age. So subscribe if you haven't done already, share me with your friends so that we can help them too. That would be amazing. Okay, so we're talking about breathing again. As I said to you, this is part of a series, and it's just the more I read, the more excited I become about this. Why we didn't know about this before is beyond me. And yet we did know about this before. And it's like, you know, it's like lots of things in positive psychology, actually. Just excuse me 1 second. Let's just get rid of that noise for you. Yeah, it's like things, lots of things in positive psychology where modern science is catching up with ancient wisdom, or at least modern science is backing now a lot of ancient wisdom. And it's the same with breathing. The ancients knew how to breathe for optimal health, and somewhere along the line it got lost, and now we've developed these really poor breathing habits that are doing us no favours. But the beauty of that, of course, is we can stop breathing badly and start breathing better. These things excite me so much because they're so simple and easy, and we can help ourselves. Okay, so I hope with what we've talked about already that you now are beginning to understand the importance of nose breathing, and you know, especially if you have grandchildren, check how they're breathing, because you know, developing bad breathing habits such as mouth breathing causes them untold, unnecessary problems and health issues throughout the rest of their life, really. So you can help them with that if you see mouth breathing and help to change that habit. But also for us women over 50, it's incredibly important. Now I know, because we've been on the earth a lot longer, it's a little bit more difficult perhaps for us to change habits that we've developed over 50 years in the making, but it's more important for us to do it because once again, as we get older, things like our lung capacity actually decreases. In fact, it starts, I believe, after the age of 30. So by the time you get into 60 and 70, it's even worse. And so any time is a good time to start developing your lungs and your diaphragm and breathing correctly. So we talked about nose breathing, but today I want to talk about the rate of breathing, and we want to try and slow your breathing down. You know, when you're breathing at the normal rate, the rate that you would normally do, your lungs are only absorbing about 15%, or not 15%, sorry, it's absorbing around about only a quarter of the available oxygen in the air. So by taking longer breaths, we allow the lungs to soak up more of that oxygen in fewer breaths. And that's what we're aiming to do. We need to slow the breath down. Now, James Nestor, who is an author and a science researcher, gives this analogy. I'll be talking about his book, but in his book he gives this analogy about breathing. So he talks about the fact that if you're in a rowing boat and you need to get from here to there, then you can get to there by taking short, shallow rowing motions. You'll get there to where you want to be, but you'll be exhausted when you get there. Whereas if you take slower, longer, measured rowing motions, you get to where you want to be quicker and using less energy. So it's more efficient to do it that way. And I love that analogy because in a lot of the things that I've read gets very, very scientific and so on. And I like James Nestor because he speaks to me in words that I can understand and gives me analogies for things that I can't understand, which is great. And so he uses the rowing technique for that. Now, when I talked about breathing, and obviously I'm getting excited about it, I'm talking to everybody and telling them to shut their mouth. And someone said to me, in fact, more than one person said to me, well, I find that difficult because my nose is blocked a lot of the time. Now, sometimes there could be some anatomical issue perhaps going on in the nose where an operation may be necessary. I don't know, but obviously trying this first is much better for you. It's just simply an exercise to unblock your nose. So what I wanted us to do was to do this exercise to unblock your nose so that will allow you then to start breathing through your nose and feel more comfortable starting to breathe through your nose and being able to develop better habits. Okay, so we're going to do it now. I'll put the instructions here and then I'm going to go through it. You can do it with me or watch me once, go through it, and then you can do it yourself. Okay, so I'll tell you what we're going to do first. I'm just going to breathe in and out through my nose, small breath in, small breath out. And then I'm going to hold my breath, pinch my nose gently, and then I'm going to move my head up and down like this. And hold my breath until I feel I can hold it no longer and I need to take a breath. Now, when I need to take that breath, I'm not going to go like this. I'm going to breathe in through my nose until my breathing regulates through my nose. Now, it might take you a bit of practice, but watch me do it, okay? And then you can go through it again. Okay, so here we go. And back to normal breathing. And then wait for a minute and go through that again and do that 5 times. 5 times, and that will help to unblock your nose. Now, it doesn't just unblock your nose. From all accounts, it helps with fatigue and even constipation. So it's a great little exercise to be able to do when you want to unblock your nose at any time. Now, they're not quite sure how this works, except the thinking is, when I talked about nitric oxide, that's this nitric oxide that's produced in your nose, created in your nose when you breathe in through your nose. When you hold your breath, the nitric oxide pools, and they think that's what actually decongests or unblocks your nose. So that's the thinking behind it. So now that you've done that and your nose is unblocked, you can start to do the breathing exercise and slow your breathing down. Now, I said to you, just practice breathing in through your nose to start with and slow your breathing down to something slightly less than you would normally breathe. That's to start with. Well, now we want to rack it up a little bit. And I want you to aim for, listen to this, aim for taking only 5 breaths in 1 minute. That's our aim. Don't try to do that straight away. We'll build up to it. But that's the aim, the optimal breathing for optimal basic health, or basic optimal breathing for health and well-being. Now, I'm going to breathe in and show you what that looks like. Now, what we don't want you to do is to go and take huge deep breaths, because that's where the over-breathing comes in that I mentioned before. These are just normal breaths. You want to be taking gentle breaths. So I'm going to breathe in for 6 and out for 6. Okay, are you ready? Here we go. 1, 2, 3. So that's 1 breath. Now, I wasn't actually timing that, so I may have been in or out a little bit. But if you've got a little second hand on your watch, you can do that and get practice, get your body practiced in doing that, and try to breathe 5 times in 1 minute, and then work up to breathing like that for 10 minutes. Now, apparently, I haven't worked up to 10 minutes yet, but the effects on your well-being and health will be profound if you can do that exercise for 10 minutes a day. Breathing in through your mouth and breathing at a rate of 5 times per minute. Now, if you do that and nothing else, you are going to see differences in the way you feel, the way you're able to go about your day, and so on. Ooh, let me know how you get on if you're doing it. Please be careful. As I said earlier, this is about your breath, which gives you life. So don't play around with it or do anything that you really can't do, like hold your breath until you keel over. Adapt it to suit you, and and let me know how you get on. Okay, so we're getting there. Breathing through the nose, slowing our breathing right down. Do that for 10 minutes a day. Let's get to that going for a couple of weeks, and then we can talk about how else we can use our breath and all the amazing things that we can do with our nose. You wouldn't believe. You need to. Okay, I'll stop talking now, and I'll see you next time. And until then, remember that on the Happy Stuff and Fluff, we're getting happy and growing younger. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.